Welcome back to JLW2 Gaming. As always, I will be your host, Blue Buzz, and today we are going to talk about the Winter Wonderland. I've had some requests that people want some help doing a few of the events, so here we go. The first thing up is the race, right here behind Q when you come in. You talk to this guy, fastest game on ice, accept it. We run down over here. Now, this is very simple. A lot of people have a lot of problem with it because it's all ice, so you slide everywhere. But here's the deal. The first thing you do when you're running the race is skirt the edges when you're cornering. That gives you traction. Once you hit the white part, not the blue part, over here, that'll give you traction. I'll show you what I mean as we talk through it. Now it'll put up okay, we get a spider to race against. 3, 2, 1, and go. You already want to have your W held down because you're rooted. And you want to hit shift as soon as possible. Now, if you notice, I'm cutting these edges so I don't slide all over the place. If you do, hit double tap and roll. Or if you do it again or slide around, you can do the jumping thing. Jumping helps keep you from sliding. So if you're constantly jumping, you can run the race without sliding so much. I'm not very good at that way. I always do it the other way. You can also use, instead of WSA and D, you can use your mouse. So what I'm going to do is go to my mouse now. And you just keep running. Use your mouse to control. This one right here, you can cut a little deep on without being disqualified. And I should hit shift to go a little faster. But if you skirt those edges, you can corner this race very well. It's not that hard. And the biggest thing is most people slide and then they go out of bounds. And that's the problem. Once you're out of bounds, you just lost the race. So you have to redo the whole thing again. So, yeah, this is the race. Pretty simple. Then all you go do is return it back in. I know I've done it for a lot of years and I make it look easy, but it's not that bad once you get used to the slide. Pretend it's like Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Really. That's basically it. Now, the next thing I want to say is I've been doing this for a few days now. If you notice, events, winter, we're 10 days into it. So I did a lot of farming while we were editing other videos and what have you. So here we go. This is what I have in the bank. A lot of stuff. I've already decided I'm not going to use it. It would be an unfair advantage. Well, not really an unfair advantage, but for a new player who doesn't start during Christmas, they don't have the access to this. So what I want to do is not use any of this. I'll show it to you as I go, but for the most part, we're going to not use any of it. There is one thing that we are going to do because I farmed a lot of this and I ended up with a ton of these when I didn't need them. And I'm going to show you a little bit about the exchange. Oh, we just got this for running the race. And I'll show you this real quick in the exchange. Now we have, check out the market here. And this is your exchange. You have buy, and this shows what you have been, what you are selling. Now, there are a few things I need to point out about the exchange. You put these, drop them right into there, hit search, and it shows the price. Well, I don't want to know the lowest price for one. I want to know the highest price I can get for them. So we want to sort by descending price. And I'm going to scroll down and find... Okay. See, now here we go. We're at 60s here. We go down one more just to make sure nobody has any posted. And we're looking for stacks of 500. And I'm not seeing any. So I go to next. Oh wait, previous. And there are stacks of 500 here. So I scroll up, and it looks like the market value right now for the lowest price is 635,000 EC. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this up for 635,000 EC. 635,000 EC. The reason I do that is the exchange works as thus. If I put my stuff up for the same price that somebody else has it up for, mine sells first. I don't have to go to 634,999 to get mine to sell first. You can do that, but all you're doing is dropping the value of the exchange. If this makes any sense. All you're basically, by putting up your items at less value than the people that already have it up there, what you are doing is lowering the market value, and you're losing money. Because if you put it up at 635, you lost 1 EC. And that's kind of important when you're dealing with big numbers. Now, I'm not saying that this guy that has this up for 100 or 1,500,000,000, that should be your price. No, this guy's a jerk. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. They got two of things up here. One's 14, one's 45. And they're thinking that, you know, they're going to lure somebody with enough money to accidentally click this, and they can get a whole bunch of EC out of them. That's all that is. That's clickbait. If you have 1,500,000 EC and you click that, you've lost it. Just like this guy that has 38,000. Now, 10 million, 15 million, that was probably where it started. Well, no, this one, 10 million for 500. That was probably where the market started 10 days ago. But over 10 days of people undercutting each other, we're down to 635,000 EC. 10 days of just people posting under each other. And that's how fast the market will drop. Because this event's only been going for 10 days. 10 million the first day to 635,000 the next. Or in 10 days. That quick. That's why I say post it at the same as what everybody else has theirs up for. If there's a whole bunch of items, I'm not saying if, you know, you come on and your item's up there for 1.5 billion EC and it's only something simple that everybody can farm, that's useless. But like these numbers down in here, these seem more reasonable for the start. Now 10 million sounds like a lot of money. But once you start playing and actually are doing stuff, you make 10 million pretty easy. Alright, next up, we're going to have, it looks like the Snowball Fight is starting in 30 seconds. That's going to be a little bit more of a pain in the butt for me, but here we go. You see this pile of snowballs? They're all over the place. There's piles of snowballs. We need some ammunition because we don't have any at the moment. So we take snowballs and keep grabbing them. As many as we can. We'll get about 500 or so, hopefully. In 6 seconds. I doubt it. So I'm going to get pounded with snowballs, but we'll do what we can. Because until we get enough of those ornaments to buy weaponry, which I do have. Yeah. There. Put on our bar finally. After we got frozen, of course. And people saved us. Thank you. Basically what we do is we run around and throw snowballs at snowmen. You're in a snowball fight with snowmen. It's fun. It kind of is. And you just basically keep fighting snowmen. And what will happen is eventually down here on the ice, a big guy will spawn. And it's this giant snowman that spawns. Anyhow, this giant snowman that spawns will be a lot harder fight. And it's quite a bit of fun once you actually get a gun. And he's already here. Here's the big snowman. He rules all the lands of ice and snow. And once you kill him, that's it for this event. It's not all that tough. But for me, right now, it's fun, but it's not as fun as it could be. And as you see, we get more ornaments. After you do enough events, throwing snowballs, you get enough of the marks or the ornaments and what have you to buy a weapon. And once you buy a weapon, life becomes a lot better. And because I have a weapon already, we are going to
Cuddly and friendly Eppos.
use a weapon. Now, once you move up to buying a weapon, I have already chosen a weapon. I chose Flurry. Flurry or Hail, they both seem to be the best. The next thing I ended up getting was a fishing gauntlet. I ended up getting Q's ornaments. Before I even bought any of this stuff, I bought the weaponry to actually be able to do this stuff. And then I bought the frost boots.
You is a genius.
Now,
So,
frost boots are a speed boost. I am going to discard all of these. The weapon is just that. It's just a weapon. This is a snowball turret. You put it down when you're in an area where there's a lot of stuff and it just keeps firing. And this is a mortar. These are little gingerbread men that you can call yourself. Now, where are all my stuff? This is the turret. I don't know why I have a snowball in here. So here, we're just going to go up to 2. And there's my gingerbread security team. This is my mortar.
it's good for
There's my rifle. Okay, everything's up. Now, in your secondary slot, you put the snow gauntlet. And that will help you out dramatically doing those things. There's a whole bunch of different stuff that you can buy. It's not in the Zen store. It's in the Winter Exchange. Event, seasonal, event store, winter event. There is a ton of weaponry all the way at the bottom. The gingerbread defense squad, the turret, mortar. You can get a ice shaved turret. Then you have all kinds of weapons. The impaler is, let me look here, ice bolt. This is like a sniper rifle. The flurry is like a automatic rifle, and hail is dual pistols. Hail seems to fire a lot faster, but I do like the Fury. The sniper rifle has its advantages. I'll talk about that later.
you is
But
a genius.
I played it for a while, and it is fun. And not this time, other years in the past. So, here in about 9 minutes, Tides of Ice will begin. Tides of Ice is over here. You can see it, Tides of Ice. We basically, you come in, I'll explain it, and then I'll show a little bit of it actually happening. But it's pretty simple. Basically, you have 4 aisles where, well, Peary is still up someplace, because that was a thing chasing the Peary. Basically, we have 4 aisles. Snowmen come down the aisles. And here are your 4 aisles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the snowmen try to come down these aisles. Well, when the event starts, there'll be a big blockade of ice under this bridge, and under all the other bridges. And that stops the snowmen from coming down. Well, they bust those ice blocks. And so they spawn right in here at the very top. And what happens is they come down, they hit the ice block, and they start throwing snowballs at it. Well, this thing fires like a bolt of lightning type looking stuff, and it hits them and kills them. But they also start throwing snowballs at this, and they can break it, so you have to repair it every now and then. What I like to do is stand on either side or on the front, or on the top of the bridge like this, and shoot them. If I'm here, I can always repair this, unless I'm frozen. Or I stand here. And the reason I like the sides is if I'm on this side, later on in the match, snowmen will start spawning down here. So I can turn around, I can shoot these guys, and then I can turn around and help out the person that's trying to guard this little area over here. Or if I'm on this side, I can shoot the guys down, the snowmen down in here, and then I can run over and help out this guy if I need to. It's all about helping each other out in this one, because there are a lot of snowmen. And what happens is the snowmen come down, and eventually they will bust through this ice. And then you have to keep this repaired. You'll have to jump down, kill the snowmen, of course, and start over on this one, holding this one as much as possible, and to kill the snowmen. One other thing that I didn't mention is when you first start, your turret should go right about here, just on the outside of this bridge, and that will help keep these snowmen down at bay. Your mortar, you can put it up here, and that will help keep this area clean, that area back there clean, and I think the next one over, it'll shoot over into there too. It really helps out to have the mortar and those, and then the gingerbread defense squad just brings in 3 little gingerbread security guys that throw snowballs at everything. They're quite fun to have around. But we'll sit here and I'll see you in about 6 minutes, and I'll show you what the snowball fight looks like. I'm going to run back here to the very beginning because I always like to come in as it happens. But what the other thing is they say defend the palace or the fort or whatever it is. And towards the end, a giant guy will spawn in here. He's usually right in here or right in here. And you have to kill him. But if the snowmen do break through and everybody falls back to this point, this is where I talked about the sniper rifle. It has a lot further range. So for the sniper guys, it would be best to be up here and standing on these, like she is right there. You can shoot almost this whole area from here with the sniper rifle back to the first bridge, I think. So it's a lot bigger area that you can defend with the sniper rifle. Also, they throw snowballs at these, and these go down, and you have to repair all 4 of these. The object of this is to not let the fewer snowmen that go through this hole, the more marks you get. Or not really marks, but ornaments you get. And that's the whole point of this one. every wave gives you marks. The faster you kill them, the more you kill, the more marks. That's the whole point. And it's quite fun. But yeah, we'll see you here in about 4 minutes or so. And we'll show you what it looks like. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I'll show you what it looks like. Yep. It's not all that hard. It really isn't. It's just time consuming. But it is one of the ones that give you the most marks or ornaments. It does give out quite a few ornaments because every wave, and I think there's like 14 waves or something like that of ice or snowmen that keep coming. They spawn. Now they're gonna say blue diamond, orange something, crimson, and then there's another one over there. I think this one's blue diamond. And it'll say which lane they're coming down. Yeah, blue diamond, orange something, crimson something, and I'm not sure what the other color is. I'm almost always on this side. Or in the middle. But they, as you see, everybody else is getting into position. And it calls out where they're coming down.
Snowmen are coming down Crimson Cube, Gold Sphere,
And-
and Blue Lozenge Lanes.
Yep. And we kill off all the snowmen, which isn't a big deal. And I forgot to put down my turret, so I jumped down in here.
Snowmen are coming down all 4 lanes. Snowmen are coming down Black Diamond, Gold Sphere, and Blue Lozenge Lanes.
And there goes my turret. That quickly.
Resistance is futile.
Snowmen are coming down Crimson Cube and Gold Sphere Lanes.
Okay. The big guy is up. If I can make it to him in time,
Snowmen are coming down
I
Crimson
did, but
Cube
just
and
barely.
Gold
I made it back here to Q. The next thing is cones of conduct. If you see this building over here, when we run through that, this will be cones of conduct. As you can see, everybody is running towards it. And what happens is a giant snowman comes and a giant ice cone with coloring fights to defend this village. It sounds crazy, and it kind of is. But it is kind of fun. It does take a while. It gives decent marks, or decent ornaments. Basically, what's going to happen is, when it starts, you shoot snowmen. And when you shoot snowmen, you get ice, shaved ice. Also, you can shave ice off, like right here. You can see the ice on the side of the building. You can also take your phaser out and melt this, I think it's candy, and you get syrup. And what you do with the shaved ice is, you see this snow-o-meter. You dump the ice in here. It'll say deposit ice or something along that lines. And then when you get the syrup, you put it in here where it's the syrup-o-meter. And that gives you the life to bring the thing out. The first thing that's going to happen is a whole bunch of snowmen, of course. So, yeah, we'll see you in about 1 minute or so.
We need to activate our village defender.
All right,
We need to
they
build a
spawned.
Snowconian. Collect
So
ice
we're going to
and
melt
syrup
this
from
candy
the
real
river to
quick
the town
and get
center.
some syrup. Nope, they're going to attack me. Now we'll melt the candy, and I'll show you what we get. Okay, we can grab this. And this one. I can't even attack these guys for some reason. Same issue that we were having before. We take these shaved ice, and you can scrape the ice here. Now, what that does is that puts this stuff in your bags. And you can run over here. You can gather a whole lot more before you do. We're just showing it real quick. You deliver ice, deliver ice, deliver ice. I think we had 4. Okay, now we're frozen because of all the snowmen, because there's nobody here. There should be at least 8 to 10 of us. There's really nobody here. And then you come over here and you deliver syrup.
Yes, the Snowconian is active.
Okay, now that the giant Snowconian is active and the Snow Overlord has been summoned, you basically want to keep doing what you were doing. You gotta kill stuff, but you also want to keep delivering ice, because as you see, he takes life. Deliver ice will help him stay alive.
Yes, the Snowconian.
And as long as he can stay alive, the more he fights.
You did it! You helped to defeat the Snow Overlord.
Thank you for your help. The villagers would like you to have this reward to save our home.
And that's pretty much it. Next up is the Peary, and he's pretty simple. Just start. When it starts, look in the sky for a gold beam that comes down. That's where he's at. Then you just go run over and shoot him. Open presents. And he turns into mist and runs across the land. You gotta chase him. And that's it. So we'll see you here in a few minutes. Alright, the Peary is here. If you notice, there's the beam of light. We're gonna run over there. And basically, you kill his minions and you kill him off. And open presents. And that's the whole thing. Alright, as soon as his life goes all the way down, he should turn into dust or smoke and move across the field. There he goes. All we do is chase him and repeat the same thing that we just did. Alright, ice fishing is beginning. So we come over here and we use these attacks to bust through the ice, and we'll get a fish. Some fish are bigger than others. Some you actually have to use these same 2 things down here to beat them into submission. Others try to swallow you. You just look for these white patches, and then it will dig for you. And once this gets full, and you'll see it fill up quite quickly, you will actually summon a giant worm. And when you summon this giant worm, everybody shoots it with snowballs, of course. What else would we do in the Winter Wonderland? Or throw snowballs at it if you don't have it. This one gives you decent marks too. So they're all worth doing. Some take longer than others, but if you're going to be here, you might as well do them. There's one of the giant fish that tries to swallow you whole. Okay, this pile is getting filled quite quickly. It won't be long, and we'll be summoning the giant worm to shoot. And we'll do one round of that, and that is all the events. There's one other thing to talk about that I will talk about. It's not an event. It's more like a TFO. There. It's been summoned. And yeah, it throws you back. So we have to switch our weapons and fire at the Koskari. And if you notice, everybody's bringing out turrets. Might as well bring out our gingerbread too. And they throw things at him as well. And when he goes down, then we go right back to ice fishing. And that's basically the whole idea behind it. You fill up the pot, summon him, shoot him down, fill up the pot with fish, over and over again until the event ends. We'll run up here, and I will show you the TFO where you queue for that. It takes 5 people to run it, and it's the only thing I'm not going to show you. It's not all that hard. You just basically defend a village. And right here is where you queue up for join the winter invasion queue. And what happens is you beam into that little city that's in the dome, and you defend the gingerbread city from snowmen. And that would be everything in the Winter Wonderland. When we come back, I believe it is Friday the 13th.